You are experiencing the ladies of Femme, Noire, only on Advent Sports Network.
It's so funny how we move through life. We've been searching for who we are. But God knew it before we were born. We were chosen to walk the stars. It was hard to accept the fact and believe this reality. Why would we choose?
Welcome. This is Femme Noire on Advent Sports Network. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we are pleased to have on the show Janelle, Shalisha, Carmen, Porsche, and myself, Tiffany. Tonight, Denise and Amber are unable to be with us, but you can look forward to hearing from them on future shows. We have all attended HBCUs, and most of us attended Oakwood College, not Oakwood University, even though that's what it is now. Shows you a little bit about our age. And they had their homecoming this past weekend. So we wanted to just take a few highlights from the weekend. And since it was Shalisha's 10-year anniversary, why don't we start with her?
All right, Tiffany. Well, you took my wow factor moment, but I'll say it again. A highlight for me was that it was my 10-year anniversary of my graduation from Oakwood. I'm really happy that I was able to go this year because I was able to participate in some of the activities that our class president from 2006 had planned for us. So I was able to see some people I hadn't seen in a while, some people that I had seen recently, some people that I did not know were in my class, and some people that probably didn't know that I was in their class. But that kind of happens when you get to the point that you're stuck in your department all day. But it was really nice to see people that I hadn't seen in a while. We sat together during the service. We had a mixer. They had vespers. We had food. And we really got to catch up, take pictures, things like that. Just reconnect with some people. So that was really a good experience for me. And I'm glad that I was able to participate in my 10-year anniversary activities.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Sounds like you had a really great time.
I did.
Why don't we ask Porsche how she felt about it, considering that she's also an alum? And why don't you start with what year this is for you?
Sure. I think we need to acknowledge that amongst Femme Noire, Shalisha is the youngest, and she is the one to finally join us in being 10 years plus out of college. And I want to tell y'all, she did not talk about it. I said to her, Shalisha, you remember this is your 10 year? And she kind of looked at me like, thanks, didn't need you to remind me. So welcome, Shalisha. Welcome.
Thank you.
No one at Oakwood knows you anymore.
Your dentures and walker is ready for you at the back.
And the young people will call you Miss Shalisha when they see you now around campus. So,
and I have to say, Porsche is the one that convinced me to sit on the floor level seating with my class during the services on Sabbath. And I wasn't going to do that, but I made my way down there. I took the long walk down and was able to. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the view from the floor, and I enjoyed sitting, amongst my class. So thank you, Porsche, for convincing me to do that.
You're welcome. You can pay me with money if you're really thankful. I enjoyed alumni for a couple of reasons. So I'm a former Miss Oakwood, and we had an Miss Oakwood Alumni Scholarship Tea. It was the first ever where Miss Oakwood, who won the pageant over the years, got together. And it was so cool meeting Miss Oakwood 1964. Oh, my goodness, she looked awesome. I'll post some pictures that people can see. And meeting Miss Oakwood 2013 and everybody in between. And so we're going to keep in touch and do more to help promote that program. So that was a lot of fun. And then Shalisha and I got to sing with the Aeolians Reunion Choir, which hopefully you've seen some of those videos. They've been going around on people's timelines. That was just an amazing event to sing back with our choir. So that was good. And you know how they say, college is the place you'll meet your husband. People enroll in Oakwood to get married. And so a highlight of my weekend was I passed my husband several times down on this campus. Is everyone okay? Yes.
Oh, gosh.
And, well, I passed a couple of my husbands. A couple I noticed were married, which was odd because I thought I was going to marry them. But I didn't, and I'm not. And others of them were single but did not notice me. And so we're still working on that. But I believe that I walked past my husband. Carmen, I probably walked past your husband. Shalisha, Janelle, I walked past everywhere my shadow fell. I probably fell on your husband. So that's going to be a highlight. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
A highlight.
Amen. Shout out to Canada. Mm-hmm. Amen.
So that was Janelle's girlfriend. That was a lot of fun though. Just catching up with people. We got our book. My name is Alvonia, Carmen's mom. Carmen, tell us about that.
I thought you were just about to take my comment.
I was going to take it because I'm pressed, but go. Sorry.
Like Tiffany took my thunder.
Exactly.
You live.
Yeah, so I actually did not graduate from Oakwood College or Oakwood University. I attended for 2 years, but I don't know if that really matters because my family pretty much was raised there. My grandmother still lives down there, and we've been going, I think in my 32 years, I have missed maybe 3 alumni weekends. So Oakwood is my home as well. And I contribute to the Alumni Association, and I still get phone calls from the alumni. I don't think they realize that I did not graduate from Oakwood University. I got signed up by the biology department to be a mentor. It's cool.
I don't think they care. You're doing well, and you went there. That's what matters.
But there are a couple things that stood out about this year's Alumni Weekend, which I just think was so amazing. God was definitely moving on and through that campus that entire weekend. It was such a blessing. But 2 things that really stood out. My brother, Christopher, I call him my big little brother. He's 3 years younger than me, but he's like 6'4". He got married on Valentine's Day of this year, and it was a very small, very intimate, beautiful, beautiful wedding. And it was just our immediate family and a couple of Christopher and Veronica's closest friends. And so what we did this year for Alumni Weekend, because all of our family always comes together, it's always usually a mini family reunion Easter weekend since all my family went to Oakwood. But this year we had a wedding reception for them, for the family that wasn't able to come to the wedding. And I was the host. I called myself the spinster of ceremonies, but Chris and Veronica didn't like that I called myself that. They felt sorry for me. I thought it was funny, spinster of ceremonies. But anyway, I was able to host this reception for them. And all of our family was there. It was really nice. We ate. There was so much food. My grandmother, my mother, Veronica's mom, they all cooked. I was in a food coma. It was amazing. And then, as Portia said, the other just amazing highlight, my mother wrote her autobiography, My Name is Alvonia. And in that book, she really talks about how she, at a very young age of 4 years old, was a victim of sexual molestation by her stepfather. And it was intentionally overlooked by my mother's mother. I don't call her my grandmother, but Lucy, my mother's mother, ignored it. And she pretty much had to live this nightmare through most of her childhood. And the book really talks about how she survived that harrowing ordeal, came to recognize her healing and growth, and turned that traumatic experience into empowerment for other women, other survivors of sexual abuse. And just to hear the stories, she sold out, by the grace of God. She completely sold out all of her books. And she's been getting messages on Facebook, text messages, her email address she's been getting so many messages about people who have gone through similar experiences, and we don't talk about it. We do not talk about this in the church, and so we don't even know what the actual prevalence of this type of issue is in our community. But my mother has been reached out to by so many women, so many girls, and healing has taken place. And I just give God all of the glory. I give Mommy some of it because she wrote the book. She was the one that she's the brave one that overcame and pushed through and is now helping other people. So that was the apex of the weekend. It was amazing. I'm so proud of her. Love you, Mommy. I know you're listening.
Love you, Aunt Beth. And
yes,
we
I
look
bet.
forward
We all love you.
And we look forward to hearing from her, right, Carmen?
Yeah, she's going to be speaking for the Women's Day program at Brinklow. I believe it's in August. Janelle, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you.
It's going to be in August. We will. Yeah, it's going to be in August. We'll solidify the date this weekend at our ministry meeting where we have to, the beginning or towards the beginning of the year, we have to put all the calendars for all the ministries together. But yes, I am excited, and it's. I know that weekend will work out, and it'll be perfect, and we cannot wait.
And before
it'll
that weekend, she's gonna be a guest on our Femme Noire podcast. So really looking forward to that.
Well, there seems to be a whole lot that went on down at Oakwood this weekend, and we are thankful for the ministry of the aliens, and we're thankful for the ministry of Aunt Bev and her healing ministry and being able to share her experience with others. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will hear a little bit about different HBCU homecoming experiences. Stay tuned.
Listen to Tiffany Glover weekdays on Advent Sports Network's Femme Noire.
I feel somewhat taken back that we are cherry picking this issue as a major issue of privacy, the cell phone, when we know they can come into your homes with the warrant, they can search you with the warrant, they can do so many things with the warrant, but the cell phones, that's where we draw the line. You can take our house, you can take our privacy, you can take us to jail, but hey, leave my cell phone alone. There's to be somewhat disingenuous with that, and I think Apple is using this as a marketing ploy. It sounds good. They're hitting all of the major points that get people excited about privacy, about personal space, and about government overreaching and going back to that. And I'm not trying to diminish that to say that we should not be concerned about that, but I think that we need to be consistent about what we say. So I'm going to bring in Alan Bozeman to give me his perspective. This is Jeremy Winston with the Rubicon. Thanks for checking in.
You're on the ticket with Advent Sports Network, home of the Rubicon, Femme Noire, and the Lange J Radio Show.
Welcome back. We have been discussing the homecoming weekend of the alma mater of most of us, which is Oakwood University. We would like to take a look at another homecoming experience. Janelle is an alum of the prestigious Howard University, and she came with us a couple of years ago down to Oakwood and experienced the Oakwood homecoming experience. And so we'd like to talk with her a little bit about her experience down at Oakwood and maybe how it kind of differs from the experience she's had at homecoming up at Howard. So Janelle, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I want to say shout out to Stanley O's because honestly, that is something that has been etched in my mind. And I've only been down to Huntsville, Alabama twice. Once was in high school when you do the trip down for school possibilities. I was in public school. I went down still to see, actually first year in college, I went down that first year in college to see a friend, and I went down with the seniors at TA. And then I went down for alumni a couple of years ago, as you said, Tiffany, and we went to Stanley O's. I have never experienced a vegetarian sandwich of goodness that was so amazing. How did y'all not eat this every day, or did you? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. All of the little toppings and the seasoning and the fried up goodness. That is all I wanted. That and slushies. That's what I remember from the alumni weekend in Oakwood. That and slushies. That made my whole time. Listen, y'all could have sat me with a sandwich in the corner of the dome, and I would have been happy. It was.
You mean from Sonic? The Sonic slushie?
Sonic slushie. Oh my goodness! Because there's no Sonics around here. It's like it's addictive. It's addictive, and that's all I wanted. I actually want it right now. So if anybody's coming in from Alabama, and you're listening, if you bring me a sandwich, I will double the price. I will pay $20 for one sandwich. That's how good it is. That's how good it is. $20 for anyone who brings me a sandwich.
Janelle, were you going to give me $20 when I said I was going to bring you a sandwich back?
No, but you did it, so it doesn't even matter now. So
shame. Who keeps pressing buttons?
But I mean,
on the podcast.
What did you say?
And I have to say that. Oh boy.
Go ahead, Janelle.
Right, but I have to say that time, going down to Oakwood and experiencing Howard's alumni weekends, it's contrasted in many different ways. But I would just say in the biggest way, honestly, is because Oakwood is a religious school and Howard is a secular school. That probably was the biggest difference. There are no sermons at Howard homecoming weekend. It's which party, who's coming on campus for the Yard Fest on Friday, which concerts are happening, and none of the concerts are the Aeolians. And you're talking about, you're trying to see if Sean Carter is coming, not Sean Carter, but Sean Combs is coming back. If you're just trying to see who's coming back and who's going to big up and who's going to be the fly. And I will say that both were different but wonderful experiences. I had no complaints about Oakwood's homecoming, except that service on Saturday was really long. I mean, longer than the normal church service. I don't know what was happening, but it was really very long. That was probably the most torturous part because my ADD just was in full effect. But outside of that, I did experience, it was nice to see all the Black people together, the Black folks coming together, educated, having a good time, memories, taking pictures, looking at outfits. And that goes on all HBCU campuses. So it was just fabulous.
Carmen, you also went to another HBCU, so why don't you tell us a little bit about their homecoming?
I did. So after I transferred from Oakwood, I went to Winston-Salem State University, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Go Rams. And like Janelle said, why is that funny? We're a good team. And we have an excellent
Just the way
band.
you inserted it. Go on.
Oh, okay. Like Janelle said, it's very different from Oakwood, but not bad different, just different. We have, like Janelle said, we have Yard Fest, we have step shows, and I pledged a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, first, foremost, finest. And we have our reunions every year, Gamma Lambda chapter, and seeing my sorors from the years and singing on the plot, holding hands, eating cake, looking at pictures, taking pictures. And then, of course, the football game. So that kind of differs from Oakwood, where Oakwood we have the basketball tournament in the gym, and at most public schools you have homecoming in the fall during football season. And so we've got the big game at the stadium, halftime shows where our bands are battling each other, and it's, you've got the crowd dancing, doing the wave. You got the drum majors that are breaking it down on the field. You got the dancers, the band dancers. You got cheerleaders. It's a lot like what you see on television, like when you watch The Different World or when you saw School Days, it kind of puts you in that mindset. So very different, not less than, similarly enjoyable. A lot of fun.
You are listening to Advent Sports Network, your exclusive home for South Central Conference basketball and the Lance J Radio Show.
How many times do I need to tell you that you're more than that? Come back to me. Forgive me. I love you.
Please stop. Please stop getting my hopes up. Just stop.
I can't stop. I won't. Olivia?
I am not a toy you can play with when you're bored or lonely or horny. I am not the girl the guy gets at the end of the movie. I am not a fantasy. If you want me, earn me. Until then, we are done.
You are experiencing the ladies of Femme Noire, only on Advent Sports Network.
Hey guys, this is Carmen Robinson, one of the Heavenly Seven on Femme Noire. I am living a very thankful life. I am a sister, a daughter, a friend, not a wife yet, but we'll see. I'm a church girl, I sing a little on the side, and I'm a doctor, and I'm a survivor. I have a personal history of depression and severe anxiety that I have been very blessed to be able to manage and overcome. But there was a point in my life in the not too distant past that I felt on the brink of a nervous breakdown and felt that there was not much to live for. But I overcame. And so my obligation is to in turn help others, to empower them, and to provide encouragement. In my medical practice, my particular passion is to teach my patients how to take ownership of their health, to help them understand that mental health is just as important, if not more important, than physical health. One must take care of their mind in the same way that they take care of their bodies, the same way they take care of their finances, relationships, cars, homes, hair. The mind can't be neglected, and all too often we see in our churches and communities that mental health is neglected, and as a result, bad things happen. So I count it my life's duty as a Christian and as a family doctor to erase the stigma of depression and anxiety and other mental health disorders, and to raise awareness about psychosocial balance and mental health. So, if you're listening and this sounds a little bit like you or someone you know, I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not crazy. You will make it through. I'm Dr. Robinson from Femme Noire. Thanks for listening.
I would have to say one of the lower lights for me this weekend is parallel with what Janelle said. I think that service on Sabbath was extremely long. It was 1:30 and the sermon hadn't even begun yet. And I'm trying to figure out what they were doing.
They were doing tithes and offerings because I left at 1 to go set up for Chris's dinner, and it was tithes and offerings at 1:30.
Thank you, Carmen. I had no idea, but it was longer than it was when you were there, Janelle. It was to a point where I just don't know. But to make a positive out of that, the sermon was definitely worth the wait. But what I would have to say is I think one of the lowlights was very long in getting to the sermon, which I think a lot of people would have enjoyed had they stayed inside for it.
I agree, Shalisha. I think they were giving awards. I think they were delivering babies, and labor can take any amount of time. I think they were building a new dorm and then transporting it out of the Von Braun onto the campus. There's a lot going on. But I think that's the only service where they expect everyone to be there, so they do everything that could possibly be done. But I feel like they can have, hey, at this time we're going to give away the Alumna of the Year awards, come to support this. But maybe they think, oh, people won't come to that except their families, so let's do it while we have everybody here. I don't know the thinking behind it, but I think the service started at 10:35 and ended at close to 3. That's a very long time. Yeah, it was long. But like you said, the sermon was worth it, and I took a lot of notes because it was so wonderful. So, but it was too long. It was too long.
So it seems
a low
that
light for me. Can I say a low light real quick?
Good. Yeah.
A low light for me was that I didn't get to hit up any of the parties. You know, Oakwood advertises. You know, we have these parties.
So
you didn't see any flyers about. You didn't
I didn't
see any
go to
flyers.
alumni, and I got flyers, and I felt like
That's how live it was. That's how live it was.
The only classy club in Huntsville. How did they advertise it?
I don't know. I didn't make it though. So
but Lee,
I should have.
Was it sponsored by your class? Wasn't it sponsored by? I thought it was sponsored by class of 2006.
I think I did see 2006 on there. I don't think it was done by our class president. It was likely done by somebody else who was in the class.
Oh,
so wait a minute.
Weird.
But
it was weird.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
How is there a club party when everything closes in Huntsville at 8:00?
There are just a few things that stay open and serve chicken until all hours of
chicken.
Okay. Okay.
There are a few things that stay open. It's not very many, but there are a few things that stay open. But we won't get into any of that because none of us.
We are saved, sanctified, and serving. Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that I, like Carmen, have been to. Let's see. Okay, I'm 34, so I've probably been to alumni at least 26 times in my life. And the sermon is always long. You know, the year you went, I think we got out at like 2:15, which was a miracle. I remember being 7, sitting in church till 3:45, and then walking around the Braun with my grandmother for an hour and a half afterwards while she spoke to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I didn't get to make it to alumni this year, I do still have fond memories. Is that all the lowlights and highlights that we've got?
No, I definitely have a low light. My low light is I want to know who was manning the door on Sunday at the tournament. I don't know who he was. My dad used to work the tournament. My dad did not know who he was. He had on a white polo shirt. He was turning people like he was the bouncer of the Emerald City. I'm like, sir, what are you doing? You're not. This is there are no celebrities here. Nobody's winning, any rings. There are no scouts here. Why are you being so gung-ho about this door? Let me in. Who are you?
Y'all, Carmen was so
Did he kick you out?
Upset.
He didn't kick me out.
She was so upset.
He didn't kick me out because my dad and my Uncle Jonathan were in the gym, and they don't play that. And Mr. Roddy, they don't play that. This guy with his
the man was telling us we had to pay. He said we had to pay $5 to stand in the lobby. Mind you, we couldn't see into the gym because it's reflective mirror door. So it's not like we're peering in, stealing the sight. We're standing in the lobby. He says, no, that's going to be $5. Carmen lifted her voice. She wanted to give them what for?
I want to know. So what they need to do is they need to do an audit of the tournament to see how many bands did they give out, how many bands were remaining, and how much money they collected. Because I believe he was pocketing some of that. What was his name? If you know his name, please email femnoirespeaks@gmail.com or tweet us. I want to know who was at the door. He does not need to be there next year.
I have never paid to get into a basketball game at Oakwood College or at Oakwood University. Not while I was a student or an alum or before. So I find that interesting. But you know how campus safety used to get real gung-ho. So I wonder if he was on that squad.
No, he had on an official polo coach something. I said, what are you coaching? But you're at the door taking tickets, but you're the coach. I'm confused. Are you the coach? Are you the bouncer? Are you the ticket man? What are you doing? Pick a job. So that was my low light.
Well, that's I'm sorry.
Also, I know that Aeolians, under Miles' directorship, 2004-2006, was able to reunite and sing, and they were amazing. But I still feel some kind of way that 96 through 2001, which was my year, and, well, Portia was also in that, and UPT, and James, like, our year didn't get to represent. But from my understanding, we'll be singing next year. But I wanted to sing this year.
I sure hope so. I was looking forward to it because we were freshmen, and that was Now's the last year of his first round. And so, yeah, we were looking forward to that. So I do hope we get to get together again next year.
Me too. Me too.
Me too. I'll be there.
Sing it, Janelle. We'll send you the music.
Well, people thought your part and don't sing tenor.
Yeah.
Yes, sing second alto.
People thought you went to Oakwood when you came down for alumni, so
they sure did. I smiled along and played along. That's right. I remember those days. Yeah, girl.
Carter Hall, la la la.
That's the same thing I do when people think I went to G.E. Peters. I just smile and nod. He knows the difference. All right. Well, we are going to wrap up this edition of Femme Noire. We want to thank you again for tuning in and encourage you to reach out to us at femnoirespeaks@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Femme Noire or on Twitter at FNSpeaks. So we would also love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on our topics. If you have any highlights or lowlights that you'd like us to mention from Oakwood Alumni Weekend, we will try to make sure we can get to that. If you have any topics that you'd like us to cover, let us know and we can add it to our list of things. So please don't forget to tune in to the Rubicon with Jeremy Winston and the Lance J Radio Show, also on Advent Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in and have a blessed week.
Femme Noire is primarily taped within the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area and mixed at Advent Sports Network's downtown Seattle studio. If you would like to directly contact the ladies, have creative show ideas, or have interest in becoming a network advertising sponsor, please email femnoirespeaks@gmail.com.
Love looks like